All right, welcome to Road to 100K a month profit selling info products. Low-key like shaking as I record this. I don't know if because I'm like freaking nervous to finally do this or if I've had too much coffee, but yeah, here's what we're gonna go over. Basically, why I'm doing this, a quick recap of what has happened so far, all the freaking mistakes I made, the game plan, the system board, and the results from this month. So why I'm doing this, I believe that like info products are the future. I mean, they changed my life. College sucks for entrepreneurs. I believe this is the future, but also at the same time, I believe that it's done so bad right now. Like I feel like most people are shady, over-promising, scammy. Yeah, I just hate it. So I thought, frick it, I'm just gonna like document everything I do. I'm not gonna charge for it. I'm just gonna like show you everything, and I'm gonna learn, and I'm gonna fail, and you guys are gonna see that I suck at this. But there's only one way to not suck, and that's to suck a lot, I guess. So there's a quote for you. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm just gonna show you guys freaking everything, because man, I wish somebody showed me this, and if they did, I hopefully wouldn't have made this many mistakes. Also, I'm going to recap what I went over. Then I'm going to give you guys the game plan for October, which was the month that you're seeing, the end of the month right now. Our system board, and the results from this month, how much we made in profit, and then we'll get into it. So quick recap. 2024 is I hit 10K a month with copywriting. And so I found the skill of copywriting, and I loved it, and I hit 10K a month with it. And all of a sudden, people started kind of asking me, dude, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? And I had a YouTube channel where I was documenting my progress. And so obviously a lot of people were like, bro, can you teach me? And that's when I got sold the idea of starting a high ticket coaching business. Oh, just show up for a couple calls a week. It'll be so easy. If only I knew, man. If only I freaking knew. So during that time, I launched my offer an insane scale. So I'm being very consistent. I'm learning how to think in systems, and shout out to Charlie Morgan and Sam Ovens. I'm very focused on product. Like it seems like I'm untouchable. And I was hitting consistent 60K months from May all the way till November. I was doing over 60K. I had a low ticket during this time, which was doing 20. So that's why I say over 60. So yeah, coaching was around like 30 to 40 for the next 4 months, but we had low tickets. It was around 60K in total. And man, you feel on top of the world. Like I felt like an info product seller, like I was making frick loads of money. All my videos were popping off because my social proof was great. It just seemed like I was the dude and nothing could fail. And foreshadowing, that's exactly what happened. Everything failed. So if you see down here from September to November, December, we were doing like 60, 70K in revenue. And this is when things became an insane mess towards the end of 2025. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, right there. Insane mess. So what happened is I got greedy and everything became bloated as crap. So I would hire like 3-4 people a month for like anything. I mean, it was just insane. I brought on a COO, somebody from low key, kind of like the corporate world, and we just blew money like it was nobody's business, man. And it's all my fault because I just, instead of facing the pain that I knew I should have and like cleaning up my own messes, I just thought, you know what? I got a ton of money in the bank. Let me just hire somebody. They'll figure it out. They'll clean it up. And that only added insane complexity and a lot of mess. And a really important principle I learned, which is like, if I'm doing the things every week that book the calls and get us a bunch of clients, if I then go have to spend all my time fulfilling those clients, guess what I'm not doing anymore? The very thing that led to me getting those clients. And so by like living in this awful cycle of spending all my time every week on videos, and then I'm like, oh, frick, now I got a ton of clients. Then it's like, oh, spending all my time on product. It created this vicious cycle of like chasing my own tail. And now I'm starting to learn like, all right, if I build a system, I can't move on to the next system until I've made it in a maintenance area where like I can still maintain the inputs I need to get the output to then move on to that next system. So that'll make sense in a second. Honestly, I just got greedy. Like looking back at the videos around this time, like me and the team, the guys around me, we were always talking about 250K a month, mill a month. We didn't understand anything, and it showed. I mean, here was the team structure. See if you guys can see that. 20 freaking people on an info product doing 77K a month. Insane. Absolutely ludicrous. We started running ads just because frick it, why not run ads? Make more money. We can't fail. That was bad. And I'm not gonna lie, we were losing money doing 77K a month revenue on an info product, negative profit margins. And I say this like, God, really, it hurts me so bad to say this, but I know that I have to be accountable and I have to show you guys everything. So here it is, right? But you're asking yourself like, KJ, how the frick, man? Like, how could you possibly do that? Well, when you get in this greedy mindset of like, everyone's telling you, oh, we'll be at 250K next month. So like, what is 77K? That's nothing. That's still, 30% profit margins. Here's the problem, man. Until you're at 250K, you're not at 250K. And so when you're spending money like you're going to make 250K and you only make 50 the next month, that's when crap hits the fan. And that's exactly what happened. I remember like literally in tears with my wife at the kitchen counter thinking, we're going to go broke next month because we're literally spending more than we could possibly make. And so this 1 month ate almost half the money I'd made all year. It was insane. And that started the spiral. So what was happening is during this time, I had a very like consistent funnel in marketing. Like it was consistent. It was an offer. It was at the right awareness level. The VSL was good. Like everything worked. We were booking calls like crazy. But I started getting like panicking and like, how we got to get more. We need more. And so I started changing the funnel to be like all this weird stuff. And then we actually had an opt-in form where someone would set them on calls. And then I went the opposite direction when I fired some people. And I was like, well, let's just do an application form. Like they know about CE. They know about it from my YouTube channel. We have the best product in the world. And that didn't work. So during this time is me like scrambling around like crazy, all while failing to realize that it really didn't matter what was on that sales page because it was all from the YouTube anyway. They just loved me for who I am. And that's why they bought. So into 2025, start of 2025, that's when God begins pruning the business. And this has been the hardest year as far as lessons of my entire life. And I wouldn't trade it for anything, guys, for anything, because this is awful. Like I would rather be here making little money than being here, being ignorant and being blinded by greed and pride, because that's awful, man. It's not where you want to be. So for the past year, what God has been doing is he's been pruning. He's been pruning my heart. He's been pruning the business from like a people standpoint. He's been pruning the business from like a systems complexity standpoint. And in the midst of it, when things were really kind of crashing, when like you see the revenue was getting lower and lower every month, I felt God saying to like put out the biggest course I'd ever done for free. And so I did. I took the heart and soul of my product, which I spent years creating this course. I just gave it away for free. And I don't say that to get any internet cool points or I'm like the greatest or anything. It was just like out of desperation. I was like, God, I want to do what you want me to do, but I'm losing my mind. And all I could think about was like, give it away. Just give it all away. So I did. And it's easy to look at this 60K views and think, oh, well, it was, it worked out. It was genius. I didn't know if it was going to work out. It was just like, let's just send it. And during this time, the sales pages, we didn't have a sales page. Like I was so kind of out of alignment with what I was doing. No sales page. It was just a calendar, like a Calendly. We weren't even using this insane amount of social proof and testimonials. It was tough. And the only thing that was doing good during this time was the product. That's one of those things that I'm just so thankful to God for, because during this whole thing, like I was still so focused on results and my clients, like my students. And I'm still fulfilling and talking with people who joined back here in my calls this week. So it's pretty cool. So after the free course, we were like, well, now what? And me and my partner, Griff, had like a deep moment on a call one day. We're like, dude, what are we going to do? Like, we don't know. Like, do we even stay with copywriting? Do we go like broader? I mean, I remember telling my dad, he came to visit. I was like, Dad, I'm scared, because for the first time ever, I genuinely have no clue what to do. Like, I don't know if I should leave copy. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I should even sell info. Like, what? I don't even know. Like, help. And I remember at church that morning, I was in the back and I saw my dad like go to the altar to pray. And I kid you not, that next day, so Monday morning, I hop on a call and me and Griff were just given clarity. And what I believe the Lord was telling us was like, no, double down. copywriting is amazing. You believe in the skill for a reason. It changed your life. It's changed all your students' lives. But you need to make it affordable, because most people genuinely can't afford a 4K program. And so you've got this free thing, which is dope, but people don't take it seriously because it's free. So you need to charge a little bit. And so we were like, that's it. We'll launch a low ticket school, just like we had a year ago. And we locked in hard for a month, and we launched Copy School, and it's doing like, it's doing like averaging 15, 16K a month on average, just MRR through that, which is crazy. But the whole team locked in. This was amazing because at this point, God had pruned out the entire team. So we went from 20 plus people all the way down to 4. And those were the guys. And I even asked God, like, do I get rid of everyone? Like I was trying to open, it's like every month he would just kind of like, he'd just take someone out. And I'd be like, really then? Like I thought they were going to be here forever. And the next month he would take someone else out and I'd be like, oh, I thought they were going to be here forever. It got to the point where I even had like my core guys, and I was like, all right, God, if they're not supposed to be here and you're calling them to do something else, then take them. Just show me. Just prune whatever you want. And it was in that moment where I felt like that was the end of the pruning. The team we have now is incredible, and I'll go into that in a second. But after Copy School, I was reflecting on high ticket. I'm like, okay, so I got like, how do we sell high ticket the right way? Because I don't feel like it's been right for so long. And the problem there is like, people are willing to sell anyone and everyone into their high ticket program, knowing that those people probably aren't going to succeed. And that gets to be a really gray area, because how can we judge whether someone's going to succeed or not? And it's hard. Like, how do you do that? And my whole philosophy was like, oh, we can just tell on the calls. But that's not true, because there's some people who I thought were going to crush it who did nothing. And there's some people who I didn't think were going to do anything who were like my best students. And so it's crazy. You can't really judge on a sales call whether someone's going to make the junk work or not. And so I thought, well, what if we had a better transition? Like, what if it was, you kind of come through the low ticket and you graduate from that into the high ticket, kind of like going through middle school, high school, college. And that was my like reflections from this video. And that was where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to see how maybe this could come together. And now we reached the current day. So it's currently, I'm making this video at the end of October. So this whole video will be kind of documenting what happened in October. A season of regrowth. And I feel like I'm turning the corner a little bit, like all that pruning and the pain and the lessons. I feel like that is coming to an end as far as this season. I could be completely wrong, honestly. That's why I'm making this videos, guys. So you can just be like, hey, man, KJ is an idiot. But let me not do what he did. But also what I hope you take away from this is God is good. He is faithful no matter what. So yeah, there's kind of the revenue. It's like whoop and whoop all the way back down. Now, we launched Copy School here. So these numbers are actually like $30,000. So, but this is just for the high ticket as far as revenue. But I'll explain more about that in a second. Anyways, where does that leave us? Where are we at? So September 2025, the start of September, I went on a trip to the cabins. I was like, you know what? My mentor, Paul, is absolute amazing man of God and business guy. He told me like, hey man, you just are always in a hurry. He's like, you never stop hurrying. You're always doing, and you're claiming it's all about, your entrepreneurship, but really you're just hurrying. Like you're not having faith. And he recommended this book, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, and it's completely changed my life. It talks about how Jesus moved in the world when he was here, how he was intentional, but he was never in a hurry. It was a great book. And so I instantly like, all right, I'm going to the cabin for 4 days, no phones, no nothing, just me and my wife chilling. And I read this book twice, and I really had time to journal and reflect and trying to just listen to God and what he was saying. And the strengths that I came away with is like, we have an incredible, lean, skilled, and loyal team. Like I would not want to be doing this with anyone else in the world. Like I love my team. I love all 3 of them jokers are my best friends. And I can't wait to wake up every day and do this with them. So that's a huge strength. Next is we have a lot of experience in content. I mean, this is what I've been doing since the very beginning. And that's a big strength because content is kind of king right now. We have the best low ticket course in the market. I don't mean just copywriting. I genuinely believe that copy school is the best course you could possibly buy in the entire BizOp market. Seriously, hands down. And the results on our page reflect that. None of you guys should buy this. You're probably high-level business owners. But if you want to see how we did it, you should buy it because it's like the sickest thing ever. You can see our results on there. We have the best high-ticket copywriting program in the market. And this is not by me. This is by, I just got off a call with one of my students who'd been through all like OG copywriting programs. He said, dude, as far as learning this skill and actually understanding how things work, yours is by far the best. And I was like, amazing. So those are our strengths, but that's not enough because we got a lot of weaknesses. Biggest weakness being like we have no/very weak systems. So because of what happened in the past year, everything got torn down. Like we have no content system, we have no sales process, we don't have we got nothing, guys. And it's crazy because God has given us the daily bread for this entire year. Like our systems have been completely blown up since like May. And yet he still gives us just enough that we need to provide and continue serving and working for him. A strength and a weakness is content reliance. So those of you guys who've been in this game for a while, you know that content is great, but also it ain't consistent. Like there's some months where your content is like cranking out stuff, and there's other weeks where it's like your stuff kind of sucks. And that's a symptom of having a bad system as well. But at the same time, it's just not like ads. Like ads, you get a winning ad, you pump more money, you make more money, etc. Content is, you're at the mercy of the algo. And then another weakness is a lot of my time goes to product because I believe in that. Like I believe in whatever we sell, I need to over deliver and it should actually change lives. And so it leaves me with not a whole lot of time on the other stuff. So what's the plan for October? So leaving the cabin after spending days with the Lord in prayer and just trying to, think, I was like, all right, well, first we got to relaunch the YouTube content system. Like we need a content system that consistently books calls for our offer, attracts the right person. Simple. We got to sort that out. We got to be posting twice a week. Then we got to have a funnel. Like we don't even have a sales funnel. There's no book a call funnel. There's just a Calendly page. We got to rebuild that. And then maybe, just maybe, get a copywriting client. So as you guys know, you've probably been on the same journey yourself. You learn the skill. You realize there's not a whole lot of leverage in having 5 clients. You start coaching, you make a ton of money at leverage, and life is better, right? But you lose that credibility, you lose that edge. Because the best content I made on YouTube was when I had clients and I was doing the thing that I actively sold. And so one of the takeaways from my time with the Lord in the mountains is like, that sounds so like, I went and did LSD in the mountains. I just sat in the mountains and prayed, guys, chill. But my time of spending time with the Lord is, I was like, I need to be doing this. Like, I want to be doing what I'm teaching. And I know that that's low leverage. I know that that's like a waste of time, et cetera, whatever. But I don't care because I just want to have a bulletproof business. And so if I can get a copywriting client again and go ahead and start doing copy in the market while I'm teaching it, it sounds dope. I'm like, everybody who sells info should do that, I think. So anyways, let's go over the system board. So how I want to do this is, I've turned kind of business into kind of like a video game in my eyes where you've got these different systems and all of this is the big system, capital S, which means like this avatar niche gets their problem solved and we make money. That's the big system of the whole business. But I've broken it down into subsections. And so we've got attention, which is getting qualified views. We've got acquisition, which is booking qualified calls. We've got conversion, which is closing dream clients. And then we have value delivery, which is getting them results. And that delivers the value. It makes us money. So at the start of October, we had this. This is our system board at the very start of this month, which is crazy that we were even making any money. But, God is good. So let's go ahead and go over what happened this month in October. So I'm going to go through the wins and I'm going to walk you through the system. So the first thing we did is launch a new content system. That was the first goal. And so let me take you to this system right now. Let's see if I can actually bring up Miro here. All right, so here is our current content system. And so what I came up with after some thought was like, how do we make good videos? Well, there has to be the heart of it, meaning skill, results, the idea, and the energy to share it. So the only reason I can share this video right now is because, like, man, this is like my life. I'm passionate about it. It's my heart. That has to be there. And that had lost because of everything that happened in the business. Like, I didn't want to make videos. I didn't want to do nothing, man. And so the step one was getting the heart back by all that pruning that God did. Next step, though, is attention. And so you do have to focus on title, thumbnail, hook. Like, it's got to get attention, or else the value doesn't matter. And then the value to fluff ratio, which is like, you can't just have a valuable video and it be so hard to sit through and get through. Like, you have to have a lot of value and almost no fluff. And value is in the eyes of the beholder. And so if your video is not specifically for the exact person who you're trying to like attract, then it's not valuable to them. And then a loop. They have to get more of the same kind of content. And that creates connection, and connection precedes conversion, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. But the only way we can actually do this over time is by simplicity, consistency, and iteration. And so all that led to the current system. So the way that I'm doing content right now, and if you guys want me to make, like, honestly, this channel is like, I mean, frick it. Like, I'm gonna show y'all whatever the heck you want. Like, I don't care. People will probably charge 10K or something for this. I don't even care. It's not worth 10K because I suck. So just tell me whatever you want and I'll show it to you and hopefully it helps you. This is our YouTube system. So you can see our systems on the left here. What I have is I have the road to 100K, which houses like the meta system. And then these house every system that we're going to make/create. So the content system is simple. Avatar. Who is exactly who we're looking to write to? Like, who is every single video for? It can't be for like just copywriters or for people making money online. Like, who is the one person? If I make my videos for one person, that's how they're going to resonate. And then the idea checklist. So like, will this person love this video? Would they pay $100? Title and thumbnail. Like I said, if you guys want me to, I can go into a deeper video. But basically, like, I want to build the system that builds the content, not just build the content. It's all about the system. And if I improve the system, every single piece of content will improve. That's the theory, at least. And so what we did is we did this for 2 weeks. We put out, I think, like 6 videos in total. There's one not on here. And we went over positives and negatives for each one. We went over the data, and honestly, pretty good stuff. I would say the biggest, we'll go over metrics later, but the biggest upgrades were we made major like strides to the lighting and quality. I learned about conversational speaking, which I'm doing in this video naturally because I'm just showing you guys everything. But when I make these like scripted videos, it's hard to speak like natural. I learned about Premiere Pro screwing us. That's a long story. I really learned the most important lesson is awareness and importance of avatar. So Ed Lawrence, old friend of mine, but now he's just incredible. He's crushing it. But he makes all these videos, and I want to buy his program in the future, but he makes these videos about YouTube and how to do YouTube business. And he really kind of brought awareness to me about the importance of one avatar and knowing exactly who they are and only making videos for them religiously so that every single time one of those people hits your funnel, they watch 10 vids. So yeah, focusing on a bank of similar bingeable content for one avatar. That's what I want to put out. And that avatar should match with who I want to buy my offer. So the metrics of YouTube were 6 videos uploaded. We did 40,800 views, subs 435, qualified calls 4. Terrible, bro. Oh, we used to do 4 calls a day. Huge problem, if you can't tell. Huge problem, but we'll get to that. So going back to the 100K a month thing here, that was the first step. So we launched a new content system. We uploaded 6 new videos using that system. I showed you kind of our iterations. Huge breakthrough with the avatar system. And so what I'll show you guys over here is we made a system for the avatar. And so what I want to do is I want to get clearer and clearer and clearer about exactly who I'm talking to. And so this is OG Jason. Shout out to Jason if he ever watches this. One of my best ever students, Jason, I wanted to figure out like where was he at when he first found my videos, and how do I make every single video directly for him and what he wants to see. And so the goals and dreams, like what they already know, the problems they have, like what hasn't worked for them, just trying to figure out who this person is really so I can make sure that I make content directly for them. So going back, that was a huge breakthrough. Next win was we added some dope results to the low ticket school. So I'll show you guys this just real quick. Here's our low ticket school. And we added a ton of wins to this. This is just a quick thing we did this month. We added some reviews from our members, and this sucker is like the craziest low ticket results page I've ever seen, man. Especially on the phone. It takes like 45 minutes to freaking scroll to the bottom. And it's all through Airtable. So Luca just screenshots these and puts them into Airtable, and it automatically updates the page, which is fire. So pretty cool. That's just a little something to show you guys. Okay, so going back to on track here. That was a big win. Next win is first agency client. This was crazy. God brought us this I wasn't planning on launching the agency till like next year. So I wasn't planning on getting copywriting clients again till next year. But God just sent us this guy who's exactly who we were looking for. He needs the exact skills that we have, and we are over-delivering like crazy. We actually finished up with him today or tomorrow with delivering on, we had a $5,000 project for him that we did in about 3 weeks or so. I don't know. It's pretty cool. But that was dope. But what this allowed us to do is we were able to make videos, and I was able to have stuff to show on coaching calls. It felt so good to be doing the thing I teach at a high level and getting paid for it and getting insane results. And to be honest, God just showed us a lot that we were missing about our own business. We were like, bro, why don't we do this for our own business? Like, what are we doing? Next one is God gave me a ton of clarity on the YouTube funnel. So after finishing most of the work for Braden, our agency client, I looked at our own funnel and I was like, bro, what am I doing? Like, we should do this. And so randomly on Saturday, I did this. I went through like wait, no, this isn't it. Hold on. Where is it at? This book a call funnel. But keep in mind, we had just a Calendly before this. We had nothing there. I went through all of the old sales funnels I'd ever done. I went through Charlie Morgan's current funnel because honestly, I was like, you know what? Back in the day, I modeled Charlie and it worked. So let's just do it again. Good starting point. And I went through his thank you page, all that good stuff. And then I was like, all right, let's build something. And so I put together this was all in like 30 minutes. I put together a brand new layout for our page and added the testimonials and added this cool stuff. And that was the clarity. And so I built this all out on Saturday in a couple hours, and pre-call sequence, everything. So God just like gave me insane clarity on that. And then shout out to Luca. He finished the new VSL page in a week, and we launched it just now. So if you want to check it out, it's pretty sick. Look at how clean that joker is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we actually have a page now, and I won't spoiler alert too hard because that'll be in next month's video, but we've already seen an uptick in calls qualified substantially. So pretty sick. And last one is I started refocusing on metrics. So when this was happening, all this, man, everything I learned kind of got thrown out the window. Like I was just struggling to survive. Every day, like every month, it was just like, how do I cut expenses so that we don't go under this month? Like that was like the main goal. And also, how do I continue doing the content and the service delivery and all that so that we even have a chance to make money that month? So it was just like survival and pruning and yeah. But after that, recently I've been like, you know what, man, I actually have time to do this stuff that I know to do. So learning, how to do systems and how to build them and how to get them in maintenance and automate and hire, I was like, bruh, I know how to do it again. And so I started refocusing on metrics, and I'll show you guys every single metric that we have coming up in the future, which I'm so excited to do. Okay, so getting back on track. Also, if you don't know how to think in systems, like if this doesn't make sense to you, even if you're like a business owner, but you're just not, like you're doing everything in your business, I'm going to give you this free little module from my high ticket course. It was way too kind of high level for most of my students. I made it just kind of for me, but for you guys, it should be dope. I'll put it in the description. If I forget, just comment and I'll put it in there. But, oh yeah, so that were the big wins for October. So let's go over the metrics. So the last thing is, what were the results? So you guys probably want to see this. From Copy School, our low ticket, we did, let me actually make this bigger. There we go. From Copy School, we did pretty much $12,000 in October. From Copy Elite, our high ticket coaching, we did $16.8 thousand. From the agency, we collected 2.5, so we get another 2.5 next month, Lord willing. And so yeah, that were the metrics. So total revenue for this month, $31,265, which is humbling. I feel like crap showing you guys that because I was doing 70K consistently all last year. But I know that it's not about the money. It's also not about the revenue because I was profiting. I was profiting less back then than I am now, which is just insane to even think about. But the expenses, the transactions were around 3.8 thousand. So here's kind of the breakdown of those. Like I said, I started tracking everything again. Most of it was software and Office. I don't really know exactly what that is, but I'm gonna dig deep into that. So yeah, that was mainly it. And then on the team, 14.2 thousand. So you'll see a big theme here is like I kind of one of the issues as far as when profit is concerned, I have a 200K a month team, but I'm only making 30. And so thankfully it's good because I had a $1 million a month team that I was making 70. So that's why I'm still profiting more. But I believe that God has put every single one of my team members that I have right now here for a reason. And I'm confident and I'm willing to risk it every month by barely kind of making enough to do that. The total expenses was 18,000, meaning total profit was 13.157, not including like anything I pay myself. So obviously not a whole lot of profit. But that's why I'm making the series is I want to be transparent. I want to show you guys when stuff sucks. And right now we're sucking at business. Like we haven't made any kind of money compared to what we were making even a year ago. But hopefully this video resonated with you and you're like, okay, wow, someone's actually showing everything, including all of the crap. So hopefully this was a blessing to your day. And if you want to see the next video, it'll be out at the end of next month. Also, if you guys want me to go into detail on any of these systems, so maybe you're like, KJ, what do you do for pre-call, or how do you do coaching? We have the best coaching in the freaking game. I'm convinced, man. I've cracked the code on how to coach at scale. I feel like not perfect. There's gonna be a lot of mistakes, but I've learned so freaking much because my like focus has been on product and how to over deliver. And that's why we have some of the most insane biz op results I've ever seen in the market. But anyways, that's it. So right now we're at 13K out of 100K profit. So we got a long way to go, but that's going to make for a really interesting series. Either I crash and burn or I win. Either way, you guys are going to be entertained. So, see you next time.